Right, so a very big welcome to people here in the room in the Corby Innovation Centre. Big welcome to all of the people that have joined us online. And so this is a really exciting opportunity for us to get together and talk about a subject which I think is key for all micro businesses, which is how you grow. And sales growth is really the key to the business. Being viable, B, being sustainable, and then for you being able to fulfill all of the important things that you want to be able to do as a business owner, which is to, is to have a great life, is to have a good work-life balance, which can be always a bit of a challenge to set up. So, so delighted that you can you can attend. My name is Geoff Baxter, so I'm part of Smart Society. We deliver NN Business, which is the service provided by North Northamptonshire Council. And the service that we provide is a service that gives you access to resources. So we've got lots of different business resources available on nnbusiness.co.uk. We've also got social media, which we'd encourage you to follow, because that's where you'll hear all of the announcements about any future programmes. We also run a really exciting mentoring program. That mentoring program at the moment is focused on any high street businesses. So any high street businesses looking to join, we are absolutely available to help you with regards to specific issues associated with high street businesses. But we'll also announce any other programs that are coming in terms of any mentoring opportunities or any support or any events as well. So yeah, so that's great. So today's session, I'd also like to introduce to you Simon Cox. So Simon is a local business person who's got a really interesting story and a really interesting business with NNBN. So he'll do an introduction to that. What we'll be focusing on is to really look into the core approach of how you grow your business. And I think that what's important to know is that if you are not focusing on growing your business doesn't stay static. Your business generally will start to decline. Sales growth is the most important part of any small business. And so hopefully when you come out of this event, you will have some really good ideas that you can implement into your own business. We will do a Q&A session at the end. So once Simon's finished and I've concluded, we'll be open to any Q&A, and we can also, if you want to ask any questions about the NN Business Service, then please do. But without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Simon Cox, and we will get started there. Simon.
Thank you. So welcome everybody this morning. I'm just going to set the timer. I've got a clicker that's not working as well now, Geoff. So what I'm going to be doing today is talking to you for the next 45 minutes. Personal journey, personal stories, also what we do as an organisation, but also what we do with helping people that we work with. So what I want to do, though, today is for you to go away with some ideas. I'm not going to tell you how to run your business, how to grow your business. I don't think anyone can really do that really well unless they are really working really closely with you. But from our point of view, if we can throw the ideas at you, take what you can from this. I want to get as much as I can over to you. What I'm going to be delivering, we normally deliver in about 3 to 4 hours. I've got 45 minutes. So it's going to be fast, okay? You'll get some prompts on the screen. By all means, just write down the words. We can go through anything at the end and talk to you all about it. Now, Jeff's got the figure 30% on there. I like to think bigger than that. I want to see bigger growth, but it all depends on what we do as well. So, right. So let me just introduce myself. I'm just going to set the scene by telling you who we are, what we do here in Northamptonshire. Basically, we're a membership organisation providing business support, mentoring, advertising, promotion, networking, making connections, benefits and perks, workshops, and we run business awards here in the county. So we're working with both North Northamptonshire Council, West Northamptonshire Council, Business and IP Centre and Northamptonshire Chamber of Commerce. We're a business ourselves. We're literally a micro business. So Marie and I are the directors of the business with 27 years of business experience between us in a whole different range of businesses. So Marie runs a website and graphic design business. Digital marketing, we've been involved in. A lot of people knew me through embroidery and print, through clothing branding, marketing consultancy, which is where we met a couple of years ago through that as well. got involved with trading currency, and then I also ran a pub for a couple of years. We took a very quiet pub into in Leighton Buzzard from nothing to being an award-winning pub out in Bedfordshire. So we've done a lot. We've been around business awards ourselves as well, and only last week we announced us in the UK Startup Awards business. We've only been going since 2022 with this business, so again we're seeing growth constantly, and I want to share some of that with you today. But really proud of what's been achieved so far. My role, I lead on as MD, working with members to help them grow, driving our member community forward, supporting our members. I also engage with the government, the local authorities, and our partner organisations over where business challenges are. Here in North Northamptonshire, we work very closely with North Northamptonshire Council's economic team. Very proud that we've got the North Northampton Business Forum, and I've chaired that for the last couple of years with the other membership organisations in the area to help support local business here. And I also sit on the board of Bedford College Services, which is the commercial element of Tresham College, Kettering Community Unit, and the Business Exchange in near Sainsbury's in Kettering. Been a mentor for Young Enterprise for the last, I think it's about 2018. No, 2008. That's the word. I also sit on the radio for NLive Radio. I'm involved in the national member. You can see exactly what we do. You know, we love being around the business community and helping, adding value to the community. Marie's role, for a start, she's been the fantastic creator of our brand, which has got a lot of traction over the last couple of years. Been around awards. She's dealt with our website, built a fantastic system that helps us to streamline our growth and help to propel our growth forward. All our graphic design visuals she does. She's done the logo, the branding. But she ultimately does the most important thing, and that's keep me grounded and keep my feet on the ground, because she's my wife and she's an amazing person to be around. But also, for two people working together in business, husband and wife can always cause challenges sometimes. So I work in her business a little bit, and she'll provide the steady head behind what we do. And the other thing she's done, and we're really proud of this, is she's created our website, which is a carbon rating of A. So websites in the future, if you're looking at going for growth and things, then have a look to see if your website is going to be got a carbon rating. Again, it's a key thing for the future of sustainability. We love working with people, different generations, different backgrounds. We work with a lot of people around Northamptonshire with the business minister. We're very proud that we brought him here to Northamptonshire last year. 106 people we had in the room talking about business at a national level, enabling them to talk to him about what goes on inside their businesses. And that was at Kettering Park last year. So you can see the sort of thing we do. So we're very engaged with the Northamptonshire Chamber, and I've been very proud to have been invited down to Downing Street twice now to go and talk about business matters locally, of what some of the pain and the challenges that we all face, because we are running our own business. We're the same as you. We've got those same challenges that you face, but we just find ways to make it happen. Yeah, and that's what being an entrepreneur is all about. And also overcoming those challenges. And as I said, the North Northampton Business Forum, I love working with these people. We come together on a quarterly basis from different organisations, from Oundle, from Corby, Kettering, Wellingborough, and we will come together to share ideas with North Northampton Council, make sure that we're all pulling together, because I don't know about you, but the pandemic, I think, taught us a lot, and it's given us a chance and an opportunity to come together to actually look at what we can do collectively to help grow. So we do involve with a lot of community support, supporting things like the British Legion, the Armed Forces Covenant, and then the business awards that we run as well. So that's really where we're at, and that's where what we do as an organisation. Now, I'm here today to talk to you about what we think are 10 key steps to business growth. Okay, so what we did during the pandemic, we looked at how can businesses that were going through pain and having troubles, etc., how can they come out of the pandemic stronger? Yeah, how can they grow? And we come up with NNBN as an organisation, pulled all our resources into one brand and went, right, let's go. Let's move forward. So our tagline of supporting business growth, when I was invited to come and speak today, I was like, yes, this is what I want to be here for. I want to come and share this with you today. You're going to see some information today and you're going to think, right, this is just not for me. Okay, that is absolutely fine. I have no problem at all with that. Take from this what's relative to you. Yeah. It's going to be quite fast, as I said, but we're going to go through the 10 areas. Now, when people come to me and they say they want to grow, do they understand why? So what I normally do is to ask them to define what it means to them. What does growth actually mean to you? You've all got different reasons. Might be financial growth, make more money, sales. Geoff's already touched on that this morning. We all need sales. We all need leads to be able to run a business. So people have got different aspirations. It might be they might want to do more around their market that they're actually engaging with. From our point of view, with NNBN, we started off here in the north. We now cover the whole of the county. So the whole of our market is huge out there now. It's quite exciting as well for us. But obviously other people have got different options as well. Customer acquisition, okay, it's a key one, this one, because we've all got to find ways to get those customers. If we don't have those customers coming through, how can we have a business? Yeah. So geographic expansion, I mentioned just a little bit, again, with our growth. But yeah, I mean, people looking to grow their business further afield. Those that are employing, those that are looking to employ, how can they use their employees to grow their business? How could they educate them? How could they train them? How could they put more into them to be salespeople out there? You know, there's marketing people, the flag bearers for a business. And they've got product or service. There could be new products, new services that you're looking to grow as well. Okay. Geoff, I'm quite happy if slides want to be circulated. If you sort of just want to, is that all right? Yeah. So we are going to circulate the slides at the end. So don't worry about making too many notes and panicking, thinking I'm not able to look and listen and everything, because as I say, a lot. Just really, if you want to focus on the ones that are really important to you, though, as I'm talking, yeah, because there will be quite a bit. Brand recognition, again, this is one that we are really passionate about, our brand, and this is where Marie, as I said, my partner, is in the business, is really, really strong on. Think about how your brand could really propel you forward for your growth. Yeah, I think this is a critical one, as well as reputation. If you're getting testimonials from clients, you're getting reviews, you're getting feedback, that's going to help you build your reputation. So think about, again, your reputation and how you could use your reputation to help you grow. Have a look at forming strategic partnerships and alliances with people. You know, how can people actually refer work to you, clients, opportunities, leads? Have a look at how that you could find those key partners to work with. We work with some fabulous partners. I always say, find partners that you can work with, because you ever heard that saying, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours? Yeah, that's what we're looking at there. But it helps you. You've got somebody else that's waving that flag for you out there, rather than you having to go out and do it yourself. Financial improvement. Now, people always say to me with this one, why financial improvement? What does that mean to growth? When we're talking about improving finances, it could be obviously increasing sales prices. It could be looking at different ways to trade your business, but also growth. I was with a business owner recently, and they said to me, I want to grow. And I said, well, what have you done in the past? He said, well, I've just gone out and pushed my business out there. I said, well, have you ever looked at putting the brakes on what you are doing to see if you're doing the right thing? And he came back to me and he went, oh, I never thought of that. So what we did was he stripped his business back to then say, okay, are we actually spending the right time, the right money in the right areas with the right people? And what he did was he reduced down his turnover in his client base to actually focus on those that are the right customers for him, rather than those that, you know, trying to get as much through the door as possible. And that's helped him grow his business that way, because he's helped it grow it financially. And obviously he's got more time on his hands. He's not tearing around so much either. So we always look at that. We're going to come on to finances very shortly as well. Sustainability. Also, we always say, if you're looking at, you know, sustainable growth, there's a whole list of things here that you can see. How can you work with environmental, social responsibility? How viable is your business long term? Yeah, I always say to people, try and think outside of 3 to 5 years. Try and think longer. For us, we've got a 5 to 10 growth plan in place for us. Okay, and that's just our organisation. Stakeholder trust and reputation. I mentioned a minute ago. Again, I said we work very closely with both the unitary authorities here in Northamptonshire with the business teams. Risk and management, you know, again, look at the risks, what's stopping you to actually growing. And of course, the one thing I love is around innovation and adaptation. Micro businesses are quick, they can be nimble, they can change just like that without having to go through big teams making decisions. So if you've got the opportunity and the market changes, see what you can do to innovate very quickly. The pandemic, perfect example. How quick did everyone jump on Zoom and have to be virtual TV presenters overnight? Yeah, every business had to innovate very quickly. Oh, there's a few more there. Cost savings and efficiency. Again, I mentioned a minute ago about the business owner I've been working with recently who wanted to reduce down his turnover to look at his cost savings and help to push more into focusing on the right clients. Resilience to external shocks. How many people budgeted for the pandemic? Tell you what, anybody that did, wow, they must have had one hell of a vision and a future up there to understand it. But my gosh, yeah, let's just say I think a few businesses now do look towards that for their growth. And of course, regulatory compliance. If things change out there with new legislation coming out there, how can that prevent growth? But how can you actually jump on the back of that to say, yeah, right, this has come out there. How can we now move this forward? Yeah. I said some of these will be there for you to take away. Some of it you'll think, no, this is just not for me. But I then work with people to say, well, look, let's look at your growth model. Who do you want to and how do you want to grow? Is it organically? You can do it through mergers and acquisitions. Strategic partnerships I've mentioned. Some of you may be in a position at some point to franchise your business. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could put that into your business in 5 to 10 years' time? So I want to franchise or license my business out there. We've been asked a couple of times actually if we wanted to franchise what we do, and we're saying no, we're not ready for it. But it's not there for further down the line if we want to look at it. So maybe start the groundwork in this plan that you're going to pull together at some point for your growth to include franchising in there and joint ventures. Okay, see who you can partner up with to help support each other, because not everybody can do everything. And I'm a big believer in that. If you're working with people that are like-minded and you're working together in joint ventures, it could be that you could help to grow that way as well. Being diverse, diversifying to the market, looking at market expansion, new product development. Again, how many people do you know that are looking to add new product to their business to help them to grow in a different direction? So, right, market analysis and strategic development. So how are we actually going to gather this data? What we do, we love to get surveys from people and questionnaires, pull that information apart to understand what the feeling of people we're working with are actually experiencing. So some of the challenges that people face, what are we actually doing to actually try and tackle some of these challenges? We do that through surveys. Then we'll sit down and go through conversation with them and say, well, how can we actually overcome this? We're questioning all the time about where things are heading out there to actually enable them to come up with ideas to put that in. I've got interviews on there, but really sitting down and having a coffee with people. But I thought, let's go a bit formal than that. Having a coffee and having a conversation around people and some of their challenges and how they want to grow can also help to give them ideas and inspiration. Have a look at your competitor. What are they doing? What are they doing better than you? Competition to me is healthy. It's also a fantastic place to be, because if you look at what other people are doing, you think, actually, that's good. Provided you're not directly copying what they're doing and you add in value to what they are doing, but then you take it off in a different direction, why not actually look at what other people are doing? Because we can't all think of everything. We're all human as well. So have a look around, analysing out your competition, secondary research, see if you can get involved with some of your industry insights, what's going on within your industries that you could use to help to analyse the market. And this one I think is key. We talk about all the social media activity, but what are people actually saying on social media? Yeah. It could be that they're complaining about X, Y, and Z. If your business offers that, then can you be the solution for what they're complaining about? Okay. So I think that's another one, critical one. And you can do that anytime, anywhere in the world, providing you've got a Wi-Fi signal. Yeah. Jump on your phone. If you're in the shopping and your partner's doing the food shopping, jump on your phone and have a look, scroll through, see what people are talking about on social media and how you can then put that into any form of growth plan. Keyword research, think about critical keyword, do those research behind keywords for businesses and what you're looking to do. Have a look at a prototype, have a look at testing the market. Trends that are out there, see growing trends around things like TikTok has grown over the years. Again, that's going to be growing future. I was down in London a couple of months ago and they were saying that a lot of I think it was the 20 to 25-year-olds, 40% are now searching on TikTok over Google. And I'm like, really? Oh my gosh, that's really scary. I've now got to go on to TikTok. That's not going to be a good thing, I don't think. But at the end of the day, have a look at it. Yeah, have a look at how that can help you to explore those trends, analyze the trends, and ask yourself the question, could I grow through this? Okay. Analysing the competition, as I said, I've touched on this a minute ago. Have a look at doing some competitor benchmarking. Have a look at what they're putting out on socials, number of reviews, what people say about them. A little bit cheeky, this one, but at the end of the day, you've got to find a way to if you want to be ahead of the competition to get ideas for growth, then have a look and see what your competitors are doing. We all know about SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Yeah. So again, use that. Have a look at research surveys, which I said about a minute ago. Again, monitor social media, industry reports, publications, online reviews and ratings. see what people are saying out there and think, well, actually, if my competitor is actually getting that said about them, then how can I be better? Yeah, how can I be better than that's being said? I don't want that. I want this. So have a look at how you can move that over and put that into your growth. Financial analysis, as I said, I touched on in the first part, actually. Analyze out your finances. We'll come on to that in shortly. Have a look at how technology can help you grow. I'm busy, yeah, really busy. But I love being busy. But what I've done is I've used technology and got creative in thinking to actually manage my time to allow me to do more. So it's allowed me to focus on what I want to focus on, which is our members and also our own growth as well. Brand, as I said, is critical. I think that people focus on their brand. If you haven't got branding guidelines for your business, then get those branding guidelines. Yeah. You go to get something printed, you can then physically hand this information to people. If you go to get all your marketing literature done and everything, you can hand your brand and information over to them and say, that's what I want you to do. Go and do that. And that's what I want it to look like. And they've got all the information. It makes it easy for them. So have a look at whether you've got your brand, but also how you stand out against your competition. Yeah, how you actually stand out against their brand. Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to be unique? Do you want to be amazing compared to what you see they're doing? Have a little look at it. Spend some time on it. A UVP, unique value proposition, develop one. So understand your target audience. It's critical. The amount of people I get phoning me up from a car dealership and they say, do you want to buy a 2-seater sports car? Yeah, I'd love one. A, I can't afford it at the moment. B, I've got 4 children. I've also got a dog. How am I going to get that in the car? There's no point trying to sell it to me. But understanding, if you ask the key questions straight up front, what do you do at the weekend? Oh, I walk the dog. They now know that I've got a dog. So trying to sell to the wrong people or trying to market your business and grow your brand to the wrong people, my gosh, it's so time draining and energy draining. So have a look at it and really understand who your target audience is. Have a look at identifying key differentiators. Again, how do you stand out to others? A key one. What are you actually trying to solve? What is the problem out there that you are trying to solve? Yeah. Have a look at how you can share your knowledge and all your information that you've got, your blog posts, get that information out there. How can you be that expert? Have any of you come across Answer the Public website? I call? Yes, brilliant. Fantastic. So Answer the Public for me is an amazing website. It's free, answerthepublic.com. You put in 2 keywords, or you put in a keyword, sorry, and I think it gives you 2 to 3 searches a day for free. And it gives you out like a pie chart of information of what questions people are asking. My gosh, if you do that 5 times a week, you've got 10 key areas. You do that across a month, that's 40 key areas, times probably 50 to 80 responses of what questions people are asking. Content. Wow. Go and answer those questions on your social media, on your blog posts, etc., and see what you can do to actually get that information out there. This one again, sales. I wasn't a salesperson. I've had to learn to sell. I don't like selling. I like telling people what I do. I like adding value. I like talking about the features, advantages, and benefits. Yeah. I always say, look at how you can emphasize on the benefits over features, because in the day, if you're going to buy something, you want to know what's in it for you, don't you? And we've all bought stuff and we think, what the hell have I bought that? I've done it many times. So have a look at the benefits, create emotional appeal, see what you can do to keep people hooked in. Because if you keep people hooked in, then what they're going to do is become those flag bearers for your brand, your business, and then they'll could become your sales team. Yeah. Be clear and concise. Geoff mentioned it earlier. Got to be specific in what we're doing. They've got to make sure it's clear what we're doing. So on our website, it clearly says what we do, where we add value, even how we trade. We're a limited company, 2 directors running this company. People think we're a different organization, but we're not. That's what we are. Bang. It's clear and concise as far as we're concerned. Test, test, test. Oh, test, test, test. Again, keep testing things. If you're looking to grow, test something before actually launching it, just to make sure that it's going to be the right thing. Align it with your brand values. So there's businesses out there that are talking about their ethics in business. Again, they're very ethical businesses. Have a look at why they're ethical. Have a look at why they do what they do. And of course, I think this is critical for everybody for growth, and that is strive for continuous improvement. What's the point in wanting to stand still? I'm hungry to want to improve every single day. I'm glad this has been recorded. I can see how I'm presenting today, so I can actually go back and look at it on video. So financial management, okay. Critical. You've got to understand the numbers if you're going to grow, in my opinion. Learn about accounting basics. If you're not an accountant, learn that knowledge. Yeah, see if you can get this information. Obviously, employ an accountant, ask the bookkeepers to do what they do for you, but just get the knowledge. A, so you know what they're talking about, and B, we can understand what it actually means to the business. Analyze financial ratios. Now, gearing ratios really come into a lot of bigger businesses, but it'll be around, you know, how quickly cash comes through business and how the measurements are, the financial instruments as well. Don't worry too much about if you're a micro business. Most of this will be bigger business stuff. Understand key performance indicators. Set them. You know, how many sales calls you're making a day, how many leads you're looking to get, how many inquiries do you get, where they're coming from, and actually then measure against it and set yourselves those targets. How many people you're going to speak to, how many meetings you're going to go to, how many times you're actually going to engage your brand a week. Monitor cash flow. This is where I've got an amazing spreadsheet. Okay, I work off a spreadsheet, and people say, why haven't you got an accounting system in place? Well, to me, I want to be able to adapt what I want for my business and forecast forward. So I think that's critical as well, in being able to look at growth and, of course, forecast financial performance. So for me, if I know we get a big injection of new members coming in, I know that's going to impact on my time. So I know the average amount of time I spend with a person a month. We had 8 new people join our membership organisation recently, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, right, okay, let's quickly put that in place. Right, so 8 times 2 is, I know, 16 hours of my time. Yeah, we're all busy people, but also we've also got to give value to our clients. So have a look at how you can use financial models, etc., to forecast forward. And I always work off things called what if scenarios. Yeah, I love Excel, I love spreadsheets. If this did this, what's the impact on my business? So if you're going to go for growth, and you're thinking about going for growth in a big way, what's the impact behind it? Yeah. Identifying financial risks. Yeah. What if a client A goes bust? How that's going to impact? That has happened to me in year 4 of a business I ran a couple of years ago. Everyone says year 3 was the worst year to get past. No, it was year 4. And I tell you what, it was horrible. Literally, they came to me and said, look, we're no longer trading. And I'm like, ouch, it's taken me years to fill that turnover, to get that money through the door, to get that client relationship going. Losing that client overnight hit me hard. How did I overcome it? Well, you know, obviously there's only certain things you can see in business. When someone says to you, I'm ceasing trading, you know, company house data is not going to show you that. It's just the relationship between him and I that was telling me he was ceasing trading. But my first month's sales were £356.81. How did I survive on that? I got out of bed the next day, didn't I? Because I was hungry. And just creating that hunger again got my business from losing £4,000 a month turnover to obviously then getting that back up to where it ended up being. So have a look at how you can identify what risks you've got coming at you, because I never saw that customer ever disappearing on me. Okay. The ways around it, I think you could do, obviously not put all your eggs in one basket. Don't focus on those big clients. Look at A, B, and C clients. You know, your A ones are your big clients. B ones are your sort of your medium size. And then look at what you look at as your C clients, your regular income coming through, your regular businesses that buy, and regular customers. Again, have a look at various analytic tools. That one, again, keep being educated, keep staying informed of what's going out on the market and how other business owners are feeling. You know, a few people I speak to, I say, how's the pandemic for you? And they say it's amazing. Some of them have said it's been really challenging. They've really had to diverse. So, you know, by just talking to people and staying educated, you can understand, you know, how that can impact on your growth. Compare against industry benchmarks. Again, seek external advice. You know, how many people don't talk to their accountant apart from when it comes to tax return or sign off the accounts? Talk to your accountant. They're around so many different people, all maybe faced with the same challenges that we're all faced with. Budgeting and forecasting, as I said, you know, again, set clear growth goals. Be brave with those goals as well. Set yourself some goals. How am I going to go and do this? By setting those goals, that will help you to understand how you're actually going to reach those goals. You know, if you want to go and get to this client, well, where do they circle? Where do they swim? You know, if you're going to liken growing a business to fishing, you want to catch that big fish that's out there. You've got to find what it's going to eat, let alone which river it swims in, let alone which way it faces at that time. So have a look at what you can do in setting those goals. I said conducting market research, I think, is critical. Budgeting and segmenting your budget. Okay, now this one I would really spend some time on if you're looking to grow as well, because if you offer two products and product A is doing really well and product B isn't doing really well, how do you actually differentiate what the impact will be on your business? So if product B starts really dipping, you could spend more time on product A. So in your budgeting, in all your forecasting, in all your trading performance, have a look at how you can segment out between the key things that actually drive your business. Use historical data. Yeah, I mean, obviously, look at how you can use that. Look back at historical information and implement rolling forecasts. Again, I think is key to have a look at to growth that way as well. A couple of others for you. Involving key stakeholders. Speak to other people. Utilize modeling tools. Monitor KPIs. You might set them, but what you're actually doing to measure against them, and review and adjust. Yeah, so review where you've been and adjust your budget going forward if you're looking to grow and you're not getting what you thought you were going to get, or it's not working. Review it and adjust accordingly. Yeah. Managing cash flow. Again, it's key for growth. If you haven't got cash coming through, how can you reinvest the cash back in the business? Monitor it regularly, managing the money that's owed to you as well. Negotiate good payment terms with suppliers. Again, if you need cash to grow, you could manage some of the payment terms with suppliers. And stock is a big issue that can take a lot of businesses down. Holding on to stock that just doesn't exist, or is out of date, or is just complete obsolete, just get rid of it as quickly as possible. Make sure you're obviously measuring stock levels as well. I said some of this is relevant for you, some of it's not, because obviously we are all dealing with different businesses here. Have a look at controlling operational expenses, though. Will always
to be able to do. Can you still click?
no.
No.
I've blown the internet up.
Okay, how about try that one?
No.
Just
There we go. Okay, so yeah, just finishing off on finances. You can see various ways to explore finance options there that can help you. Bank loans alternative. You can see if you're looking for external finance to help you grow, go and investigate and speak to experts. Private equity, government grants, local councils have got grants, etc., to help you grow. Bootstrapping, self-funding. Look at how you can use your own funding to put into growth. That's the route I like to take. I don't want to borrow money. What I want to do is find out, I want to earn the money and then reinvest that back into the business. Right, sales and marketing strategies. So talking about building a strong brand identity, define those values. Why do you have, what's the story behind your brand? Why do you have what you have? Get to know your target audience. Look at your brand voice as well. What's it actually saying? I think is critical. Design a memorable logo. I like to think ours is quite memorable. Everybody else has got different logos. Have a look at what it means to you. Yeah. How memorable is it to people? I touched on brand guidelines earlier. Critical. Yeah. Get those. Because if you're looking to sell something as well, you want to be able to package it up to actually then sell that onto somebody. If you're looking to exit your business, then if you're going for growth, you've got that ready to go as well. Compelling branding messages. I mean, our supporting business growth, we love that tagline and that brand messaging that goes behind it. Build trust and credibility, show what goes on behind the brand, and engage with your audience. be different, be someone different, and have a look at what you can do with your brand to make it different as well, and stay consistent. As I said, there's a lot of people out there that can add value to your branding, that can actually help you to understand more about it. But the ultimate one for me is being consistent with that brand, because if not, it confuses people, especially in a growth stage as well, because you're growing so fast and you're growing at a rate that you want to grow at, that your brand can often lose sight of what you initially set out to do. So just make sure you explain to people why, how, what, where, and why it's grown, because consistency, we all know, builds trust and is key. Right, effective marketing campaigns. Again, be clear in what you're doing. Get to know your audience. Choose the right channels. Now, when I say this, again, going back to fishing, there's nothing worse than being fishing. You're trying to catch fish and you're chucking the wrong fishing bait in to try and collect and try and catch those fish. To be very clear about choosing those right marketing channels, but make sure you understand which ones work for you. So measurement is key. Create compelling content. Touched on that with the website I gave you earlier about Answer the Public. But if you get stuck for compelling content, this is where I think AI and ChatGPT is amazing. We're all human. We get stuck sometimes going, what are we doing? Oh my gosh, I need the answer to this. Don't take everything that comes out of ChatGPT as the absolute truth, because it is still finding its feet. But what I would say is have a look at it for ideas, especially if you're looking for a keyword around something and you think, I just need a different word for that. Ask it. Yeah, you'll get the answer back. Utilize paid advertising as well. So be very careful you measure this though. If you're gonna use any of this, just measurement is critical. Leverage social media. Make sure you optimize for search engine optimization. Again, run promotions, contests, measure, analyze results. I cannot stress it enough. Measure, measure, measure. My spreadsheet is full of measurement, I can assure you. And again, look at improving. Look at how you can constantly keep improving what you're doing. What's your messaging looking like? How's the market responding? If it's not responding properly or not responding how you want it to, what can you do to change to make that improvement? Utilizing digital marketing, again, SEO, content marketing, we all do this. Yeah, there's people out there that can help you deliver on that, but are you actually utilizing it to its best potential? So again, have a look at it. Maybe explore new areas around TikTok, was mentioned earlier. Don't really want to go on TikTok. Pay-per-click. Sorry, thank you for that. Yeah, pay-per-click. Video, we know how big it is. Influencer marketing, all this. Critical mobile marketing. How many of you look at a PC or a laptop to actually investigate where you're going at the weekend or whatever? Everyone's doing it on their mobile phone. So are you ready to talk to that audience? Is your website ready to talk to people? If you're going to start and push your brand and really push your business, is your website optimized for mobile phones, that it's responsive? Sonic branding is a new one. Again, if I'm not going to sing for you, but if you hear those 3 beeps on the radio, you might think that's BBC Radio News. I know what's coming over the hill. Sky News, you hear a bit of music beforehand. So think, could you introduce something that's to get people to remember you, so then you can actually look at how you can actually engage them through sonic branding, which I think is a great term as well. Again, implementing sales strategies. We're going to come on to this shortly, aren't we? But segmenting your target market, strong relationships. This is going to help you grow. How many people don't ask their existing client base to refer them to somebody they know? That is, such a great way to be able to grow a business. Somebody's bought from you, they like you, they know you, they trust you. Ask them to introduce you to somebody. Yeah, we've done it. It works really well. Set clear sales goals. If you haven't got a goal and a target, how can you go for something? Yeah. Implement sales training development. There's not enough of this, I believe. I think there should be so much more. Yeah, because we find it's a whole diverse world out there these days. Different people, different cultures, different backgrounds, different knowledge, different understanding. So in getting more development and training, we can all grow and all learn more about each other as well. Again, utilizing data analytics, diversify your sales channels. Have a look at focusing on customer retention. How many of you actually look to retain those customers so they can continue talking to them about your new products and your services, which you can then talk to them about referring you to new people. And of course, upselling, cross-selling. How many of us don't do it? I think it's a great way to be able to grow a business. Tell people what more you can add. If I said, do you want fries with that? You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, they do it every single time. Again, Can't stress it enough. Look to improve and adapt continually. This one I'm not going to touch on too much. We have been working with some great people that can actually deliver on this. But again, have a look at how you can streamline processes and workflows so you only focus on what's working and the good stuff that's working. And if a particular part of your business is growing more than another part, then focus on that. You know, don't forget about the other part, but focus on that. See what you can do to automate repetitive tasks. Outsourcing. How many of us think, right, I need an employee? No, don't employ somebody. Maybe look at outsourcing to a small business that can fill that gap to help you grow towards that employee. Because businesses sometimes jump to that big level of going, I need an employee to come into my business. The business model changes at the top, or a particular customer doesn't stay with them. Of course, then they're stuck with a problem because obviously they've got an overhead there and they've got a hole to fill. And that can be, you know, extremely stressful sometimes. But have a look at what you can do to outsource. And again, training and development, again, I think is key. Keeping that training going about how you can grow. And again, review and improve. Customer acquisition and retention. Now, again, conduct market research. Yeah, I know we're busy. I know we sort of don't look at it, but we are continually looking as an organisation into what's going on around the area. We want to know what's going on. We want to see what we can do to help those people. Yeah, everyone can do this. Listening to customer feedback again. You know, if people are not happy with the service or the products, well, they've even got ideas. You know, have a look at their ideas. Your clients, ask them, how can we grow? What can we do to help support? What can we do to give you more? Yeah, so listening to customer feedback, analysing their behaviour. People vote with their feet. I'm a big believer in that. If they don't like something, they won't buy it. So if you can find a way of analysing out your customer behaviour, what's their buying patterns, have a look at how regularly they buy and what their behaviour patterns are, monitor industry trends, and of course, engaging with your customers. You know, we've sold to them, don't forget them. Yeah. Understanding their needs, monitor social media conversations, and again, customer centric, be customer focused. I know it's hard work sometimes, but we've got to look at it and go, thank you for buying from me, Mr. Customer. I now want to supply to Mrs. Customer. What can I do to help you? Yeah. Again, you've got someone that's bought from you once, they can introduce you to people. But again, we should all be focused on our customers all the time. It's not easy sometimes, but keep in regular contact with them, just so that they know that you're thinking of them. Empower your employees. If any of you have got employees or you're thinking about it, get them to be, you know, a flag bearer for your brand as well. Communicate openly and transparency, I think, is critical in this day and age that we live in. There's so much out there, so much noise. But being, you know, openly and transparent with people. Personalization is a great way for growth, especially if you've got a lot of knowledge around what you're doing and what you're offering. People love things that are personalized. That's to them. You know, have a look at what you could offer to really personalize your solution towards them. And again, then push it out there. You know, push that message out there. Measure and track satisfaction of customers. And again, improve and innovate. So again, make sure you understand your customer needs. Innovation, as I said, I love this one. We're 70% of the way there, so we've only got the 10 steps, so don't worry. But innovation and adaptability, I think, is, again, encourage innovation. Take time away from your busy day to think about how you can grow. Ask yourself questions. What if I did this? If I did this, what's the impact? How can that help me? Role play it. Yeah, I always say to people, if you want to grow, dream. Yeah, do it, realize it, embrace it, achieve it, and measure it. Yeah, absolutely. Get out there and just take the time out to actually, you know, just go for a walk. Go for a walk with a busy person, you know, that's very well, you know, switched on, that's connected, that knows a lot about what you're looking to do. Just go for a walk with them. You know, just have a chat with them. Provide resource and support. Yeah. Encourage collaboration. We get it all the time. Can we collaborate with you? Yeah, we'd love to look at collaborations with people. What can we do to encourage it as well? Again, I'll stress that one as well as part of empowering your employees. Just because they're employees, they don't have ideas, do they? Of course they do. They've got loads of ideas. They see things from the shop floor sometimes. How could you put that into your business to help your business grow? Promote open communication. Again, setting goals. We do a lot of goal setting within our business. We want to know exactly what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and why we're actually adding value to people. So I want to do that. Spend a lot of time on that as well. Celebrate and learn from failure. I love celebrating our successes. I love learning from our failures because we all make mistakes. I think sometimes it's the sometimes not actually admitting it sometimes is the problem. Yeah, that didn't work. That's half the issue. But certainly celebrate and celebrate with people that you work with as well. Again, customer centric, I mentioned that again. Embrace technology and trends, see what you can do to encourage the innovation that's out there and lead by example. Yeah, if you're walking the walk out there, then that's how you can grow your business. If people see you that you're actually looking and you're actually delivering what you say you deliver and you're giving great value, great service, and everything that goes with it with a business, see what happens. Yeah, people start talking about it, they start loving what you do, leading by example. And you can also, with innovation, you can have a look at, leading, be that market leader for what you do in the area. Yeah. Adapting to change. Oh my gosh, the pandemic, how many people had to change overnight? Hello, a lot of people. But we had to adapt. Sometimes we don't have to adapt. Sometimes we can just look at quick ways of doing it. We can do that by staying informed, embracing flexibility, agility, maintaining financial resilience is key. Resilience is key for business growth. You have those down days, they're really tough days. We get them. So how do I get around that? I'll tell you how I get around it. I set a diary appointment. If I know I'm having a really bad day, I put a diary appointment in my diary to say, right, 9 o'clock. I had a bad day yesterday. 9 o'clock, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do that. My phone beeps at me, says, you've got a diary appointment. Okay, I've set it. I've told it to do it. But it's got me back in the zone and I'm accountable to myself. Yeah. So have a look at how you can get around those challenging days. Maintaining financial resilience is key. Keep the cash flow coming through. Focus on your customers' needs. Invest in technology again. Adapting to change. So building strong relationships. You never know if you're struggling out there and something happens, who can actually help you. If you've got those alliances, those strategic partners out there, they can help pull you through in those situations, and they all come with strong relationships. Strong relationships with your customers as well. How many times have we had to say to people, can you pay me early? I need the cash flow into the business. Businesses can do that. Yeah. They can actually say, look, do you know what? I know payment terms are 30 days. I'll pay you early because my customer has said they need, my supplier has said they need to be paid. The customer says, look, I'll pay you early. It's fine, because people do find themselves in a situation. Again, adapting to market changes out there for growth. Have a look at empowering people, monitor and evaluate performance, anticipate and plan ahead. I love planning. Absolutely love planning. What if this happened? What would be the outcome? If this happened, what would be the situation? So have a look at how you can create those what if scenarios, plan ahead, and measure against the plan as well. Because again, if you're spending a lot of time going down the wrong road, you want to get off that road and go to a better view for a better road. Staying positive and adaptable. Yeah, change can be a horrible thing, whether it's health change, family change, market change, customers disappear, whatever. Just find a way of getting around it. Again, not going to touch too much on leadership and performance, but you as business owners are a leader. Okay, a leader in what you do. Doesn't matter what level you are performing at, where you are, but have a look at how you can inspire your teams. They could be your teams of your suppliers, your outsourced people that you may work with. They could be your teams internally. Have a look at how you can bring smaller businesses on your journey with them, or people that you work with. How can you educate them? I think that's great. Again, drive change and adaptation. I always talk about embracing innovation. Have a look at how we can actually diversify away from the normal and make change. Improve employee engagement and retention. Again, it all helps towards growth because you've got people that are bought into that culture and they are staying with you to help go with you on the business journey as the business grows. The key one for me there is succession planning. If something happens in your business and you've got something going on, you've got to that next level and you think, right, now I've got my employee, what happens if that employee leaves? Okay, or something changes in their life or whatever, or you've got that supplier that you've been working with and they've been part of your growth and they've gone bust or they shut up shop or do whatever they're going to do. So have a look at succession planning constantly. I think that's the critical one on there. Risk management, again, I'm not going to touch on too much, but resilience is key. Yeah. As small businesses, we're quick, we're nimble, we can adapt very quickly, make decisions faster, build a culture of innovation, embrace problem solving skills, embrace customer satisfaction. Yeah, have a look at how you can keep exciting your customer base. The more you excite them, the more they're going to want to buy from you and recommend you as well. Great service, great job. Encourage continuous learning and development, strengthen collaboration, teamwork, have a contingency plan. I always say that if something's going to come off the rails, it's going to come off the rails. When we had our embroidery business, putting the branding on the clothing, we had a power cut. I had a job to get out the door. Oh my gosh, how are we going to get the machines operating? I went down to what was Maplin Electronics, £35, bought an inverter. I can plug in the car, I can plug my machine in there. We can get the job out the door. Yeah. Contingency plan. I didn't have that in a contingency plan. But have a look at what you can do. A lot of micro businesses these days, if they're trading online, if the broadband goes down, I can get a signal on a phone, great, back up online, or we can just go down to a local coffee shop or something and work off their Wi-Fi. But how many people don't have these contingency plans in place? So have a think about it. I think the big thing we're going to have to focus on in the future is the climate, the wet weather. You know, these flash flooding. How's that going to impact on? If we get a flash flood, obviously you could get delayed going to a meeting. It's such a simple thing, but at the end of the day, it could impact on, you know, a future client relationship, a meeting with a client, new client for if you're going to meet them for the first time. So always think about your contingency plans. Again, role play it, and the backup as well. So have a look at it. Building resilience, I said, is key. Right, the best one of all. You do all this. What's the point in doing it if you're not going to measure it? And I think this is the fantastic part of all this. So again, you set about SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, realistic, timely, targeted. You know, another word beginning with T there. But setting them is key. Be flexible as well in what you've achieved. Be motivated, 100%. If you're not motivated and don't love what you do, why do you do it? Yeah. Have a look at how you can be motivated towards your own measurement of growth as well. Some people I know actually measure their growth by exhibitions. So they go to an exhibition, they start off one year with just a table and a little pull-up banner. Next one, they've got table, pull-up banner, promotional material. The next year, they might have an all singing, all dancing exhibition stand. That's continuous improvement just on exhibitions. Yeah. So have a think about how you could measure your growth through continuous improvement. Be accountable to yourself as well, and also to any plans. And then establishing milestones and metrics. Again, measure progress, work on the weaknesses. What's not working? Yeah, work on those weaknesses. Thoroughly embrace your strengths. Have a look at what's key for you. Have a look at what you think is right. Analysing the business performance. I always say take photographs as well. It's always great to flick back and go, well, this was me 10 years ago. Look at me now. Yeah, I've grown. Yeah, so have a look at keeping all that. Keep the press information. If you launch anything out in the press, the hyperlinks towards any public information of stuff that you've done. So you can just look at where you've been and establish those, measure your journey. Yeah, and why celebrate it? Well, come on, you've done all this hard work. You want to be able to pat yourself on the back or share it with your team or enjoy it. It boosts morale, without a doubt. We hear it quite a bit with the awards that we run. People say, you come to the awards, not only if we don't win, we don't mind. The fact is we've actually had a team night out to actually say, you know, well done. Builds obviously a positive culture. If you win an award at an award ceremony, you go back in the next day, my God, the feeling is amazing because obviously everyone's celebrating. But then it then inspires people with the innovation. You know, what more can we do? We've just won this. What more can we do to not lose this recognition? Building confidence, resilience, and encourages risk-taking, which entrepreneurs love doing. Improves employee retention as well. Okay, a couple more for you. Improves customer experience, retention. You know, strengthens relationships with people, drives continuous improvement. Yeah, without that drive, it's a key factor for growth. Drive. Yeah, and why not celebrate it? You deserve it. And I always say success to me is something you can celebrate every single second. It doesn't need to be a big customer. It could just be those little wins. And if you want a great tip as well, get your calendar, get it on the wall in front of you and write down your daily win every single day. Because when you're having that bad day the next day and you think, oh no, it's not working, I'm not doing what I wanted to do today, have a look at how you felt yesterday when you actually won that yesterday. Yeah, it's a great appreciation and gratitude. I believe in big. It helps you to get through those sticky moments. So in summary, the 10 key steps we say: understand why you want to grow, analyze the market, understand the finances behind it, create a strong sales marketing strategy, embrace operational efficiency, and then get to know your customers, innovate, create strong leadership and development within what you're doing, risk management and understanding how you can be more resilient, and then measure success and ultimately celebrate. that's enough for me, I think. I'm going to hand back to you because I think there's a bit more we're going to do on this. But if you want to know more, I am on LinkedIn. If you want to know more about what we do, then there's my contact details as well. So there we go. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for that. Okay, so apologies for the drop in Wi-Fi. So there are I've always thought worry about the things that you can control and worry less about the things that you can't. So but first thing is a really big thank you to Simon. So certainly link up with Simon as on LinkedIn. So you know, he's a kind of key channel within North Northamptonshire, and you know, an opportunity to network with other local businesses and also to get some really good insight. So there was a lot of stuff covered in there, and so I always like to sort of draw out a couple of points which I think really resonate with me. And I think the first thing is that you would have to agree that Simon really exudes passion. You know, he's really passionate about the area, about working with businesses, and you know, and that really came across. And as a business owner, and particularly if you're looking to drive sales, one of the big competitive advantages that you have, one of the big areas of differentiation is you. And so if you're passionate, then that will leak out, and that will help others to start to understand the business that you're delivering and so forth. I think the other thing is really just around that you know, analysing your competition, and really understanding who your competitors are, what sort of value that they're providing to your customer, and how you're different to them. And that I think is probably some of the key areas that have helped me as a business person to grow, and having been through a number of entrepreneurial journeys, you know, what to focus on and to achieve. You know, I would probably boil the key elements down into 3 points. And so the first one is really about making sure that your business idea actually has a market. And so when we speak to lots of businesses and we talk to them about their business idea, and we talk to them about what they're offering to their customer, they're not really necessarily as clear as they can be in terms of what their business actually gives in terms of value to a customer. And so they're unable, when they're unable to do that, and if a customer doesn't see value, then the customer is unlikely to buy from you. And I'll give you a really personal example of that. So back in 2011, so one of the businesses that I founded was a digital loyalty system, and myself and my business partner at the time set up a really fantastic app that we used to run over tablets. We would put them into small high street businesses, and that would run the loyalty scheme for those customers. And so what we tried to explain to the businesses is that it would help them to build up a customer database. It would allow them to be able to market to those businesses, and it would allow them to be able to get their existing customers to spend more. And that's the real premise around loyalty marketing. That's the reason why Tesco's, Sainsbury's, all of those big companies run loyalty schemes. It's about getting customers to come back more. But we weren't able to communicate that to our customers. What our customers wanted, those high street businesses, they wanted more new customers. And a loyalty scheme doesn't really do that. That's slightly different. And so we weren't able to really communicate that to them. We tried communicating to them, but we weren't able to put that into a format. And so ultimately, the business we sold lots of units, but we were unable to retain customers, and ultimately the business went bust. Actually, you know, is now, if you speak to businesses, then people are much more understanding of the role of loyalty. We were quite new in the market with a scheme like that. So I think that's the sort of thing, is really understand your business idea. And so the point that Simon raised about answer the public, that's a really good way of being able to actually ask questions and get responses back, so that you really understand, you know, if I'm putting a business out there, this is the problem that I'm looking to solve, and does that actually resonate with your customers? So the second thing, and this is also important, is that you need to really differentiate your approach. And differentiation is difficult because there are no new ideas. So you will be running your business. Your business will have competitors. Competitors are a good thing because that shows you that there is a market, but you need to be able to explain why you are different. And the first thing why you're different is probably you. The other things is that you need to be able to do will be to explain why the differentiation that you've got is going to help the customer in terms of how they would approach that. And I think that's something it's so take, for example, working in the healthcare industry, which is an area that a business that I'm involved in works in. There are lots and lots of suppliers of carers, and so that's what that business is involved in. And so what the way that you differentiate yourself is important, because if you go in there and say, right, we supply care, so somebody, a customer, and that might be a family or that might be a local authority, will say, well, how are you different to any other care business? Now, one way of differentiating is price, but price isn't a great thing to differentiate on, because generally that means that you will have to charge a really low margin. And the businesses that are able to compete on price are really big businesses, because they're able to operate at scale. So as a small business, you will generally have to compete on things like service. You'll have to compete on areas that a big business struggles with, and that personal relationship is something to that. But you should be able to explain to your customer base exactly how you are differentiated from somebody else. And if you can't, then you are going to struggle to be able to come in, because when you're looking at sales growth, you are looking to go in front of new customers. And new customers, if they've already got a solution, they've already got a supplier or a service provider, then there's got to be a reason for them to change to you, because there is a risk of them moving from their existing supplier over to you, and you've got to make sure that they are confident in what you do, that there's a real reason for that, and you give them a really good offer on that. And then finally, it's about shoe leather, and generally one of the big differentiators between businesses that grow and businesses that either grow very slowly or stagnate is just the amount of time that you put into your sales, particularly around face-to-face sales. That really is key, and as a business owner, you need to see your primary role as sales, and as about going out and selling. And that can be quite an uncomfortable thought, because a lot of business owners will have developed a business based on their skill set. That might be their skill set as a digital marketer, or that might be their skill set as a landscape gardener, or as a hairdresser, and they might not necessarily be thinking themselves as a salesperson. Well, you have to turn around that thinking, and you've got to really get comfortable with going out there, identifying leads, and getting in front of your potential customers to do that. So those are the three things to do that. I think particularly on the sales piece, that's an area so my background is not sales. My background actually is working on the other side of that. So I used to work in procurement a number of years ago. So that was purchasing and supply chain. And so I've had to learn how to do that sales and to feel really comfortable with that sales. And so to start with, that was a real challenge. But what I've found is that it's something that I actually start to really enjoy, because when you start to sell more, what you start to do is you start to understand your customer, you start to understand what's important to them, and you're starting to bring stuff to them that is a solution to their problems. And if you've really got these right, your business idea, how you're differentiating, then actually the sales process isn't about how shiny your suit is or about how flashy your PowerPoint presentation is. It's actually about making sure that what you're selling is solving the customer's problem, whether that's colouring their hair, whether that's doing their garden, whether that's selling them a piece of software. And so I think that they're the really important things. Great. Okay, so we're a little bit over time. But what I'd like to do now is to open up the floor for questions, and we've got people in the room here, and we've also got people online. So what I will do is I will unshare the presentation. If you would like copies of the presentation, then we can send that out. So we've got that as a PDF. Before actually we get into the presentation, I will also just note to let people know about what's happening next for NN Business. So our next event is going to be focusing around avoiding sales and marketing mistakes. And it's going to be over in East Northamptonshire House, which is in Thrapston. So it's on the 11th of June at 10:30. So there's an opportunity to be in the room. So a chance of networking, and we'll also have a virtual event if you can't get there. So really great opportunity to do that. If there are any high street businesses within who are here or online, then let us know, because we do still have a few mentoring spaces available for the high street mentoring program that's around. And that's an opportunity, and that's funded by North Northamptonshire Council through Levelling Up, provided by the UK government. That's an opportunity to spend some time with a mentor to really dig into kind of key issues about helping you to be thinking, around how you can adjust your business to get sales growth going, to get customers back into your store. So mentoring is I think it is the #1 requested business support service across all local authorities across the whole of the UK. That is what people are demanding. The reason they're demanding that is because it's really helpful to be able to do that. And that's provided free of charge, by the way, by North Northamptonshire. And then finally, so please go on to our social media. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook and Twitter. Please follow us, and so you'll get to hear about any of the programs that are out there. So yes, okay, right. Without further ado, I will unshare the presentation, and then we'll be able to see the